Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews, and today we are back with another, yep, you guessed it, Jurassic World Rebirth release, and as you can see, it is the second of the new story packs. We've got the Zora Bennett and Velociraptor set. This one isn't going to be quite as cool as the Pteranodon set because this raptor looks like it's probably the exact same raptor we had in the recent Vehicles set, so we'll at least, be starting our pack of raptors, but it is unfortunate that they didn't bother to give this one any sort of difference in paint application. So obviously the star of this set, if you already have the raptor like I do, would be Zora, but if you don't have the raptor, then this one might be quite exciting. But if you take a look here at the back of the box, you can see some images of the set, and then of course the other set, which we've already reviewed here on the channel. So let's pop this open and check it out. So straight out of the packaging, this set definitely looks very similar to the Pteranodon set as far as what we have included. We had a pterosaur, this time we've got a raptor. We also had a weapon, this time we have what appears to be a rifle. We also had a backpack, we also have a backpack in this set, and then of course our human figure, which in this case is Zora over Henry Loomis. And if we bring her in, you can see she is definitely a different figure than the Zora we had in the recent Spinosaurus Danger set. Very different as far as the outfit and everything goes, but I think they've captured the likeness of her, of Scarlett Johansson, fairly decently. We've also got some pretty nice, paint application throughout, as we have the eyes, the mouth, as well, specifically the lips, as well as the eyebrows and everything, all given some nice color, and it looks pretty good. You also can see her hair sculpted out and is up in a ponytail, also given the blonde look. Lots of nice, realism, I would say, to the sculpt of the hair. As we move down, she does have this little kind of thing over her chest, basically, which does actually feature a little bit of variation of color, as we have a military type green for the primary body color of that piece, but you also can see a darker green, which is actually quite similar to the tone that we have for her pants on the front of it. She is also wearing a dark tone for her shirt, kind of like almost like a really dark purplish tone for the shirt. There's also some nice creasing and everything within that area. You can see the arms also nicely sculpted. And look, you can even see like the musculature of her arms, which is really cool. I don't really remember that being something that was common on a lot of the older Mattel Jurassic humans. So it is nice to see them upgrading these figures as we go. But we also have a watch on her, just like we actually had on Henry Loomis. As we move down, we have the belt sculpted out and painted with a gray for the belt. And then of course her pants, which do feature all sorts of pockets, creases, everything again that would make this look about as realistic as it gets for an action figure. They are all painted with that same tone of green like we already mentioned from up earlier on the outfit. And then you can also see her boots, again painted with a brown, and they look pretty good. Again, definitely very nicely sculpted. As far as her articulation goes, it is the standard, I'm sure. We've got the neck articulation. Can kind of wiggle a little bit forward and back, but mostly just left and right. Also, the arms come out away from the body, can swivel. We've got the elbows forward and back, can also swivel. Then when we move down, we have midsection articulation. We can also go forward and back with the legs. Also splits, if we choose to do those, or some Van Damme-like martial arts side kicks. And then you can also articulate the leg forward and back, and can also swivel at the knee. So definitely a really fun version of Zora. And then we as well, again, have the rifle that she has, which is actually really highly detailed for being quite the small little accessory in here. That is really, really nicely done as far as the actual sculpt goes. It is just created in a dark grayish tone, so there's no real color variation or anything to it that I can see, but it looks really good. Definitely would be a fun addition to any dino toy photography. And then the backpack pretty much looks like it's either the same or very similar to the one we had seen in the Henry Loomis set, but it just looks like it's a slightly different color. And yes, we can open it again just like we could in the other set. So nothing super special as far as that goes. Maybe it is actually a little bit different because we do have this little strap down here, and I don't remember that one being on the one from the Henry Loomis set. Let me actually grab that. Well, I just got Henry Loomis himself, so as you can see, the bags are definitely quite different. I didn't realize how large the bag that Henry Loomis had is compared to Zora's, so definitely very different, but of a similar style, and equally as highly detailed. And then our raptor, again, in my opinion, it's probably the same raptor as the one that we recently had in the vehicle set, and to show you that, here is that raptor, again from the other set, and looking at the two together, I'm really not noticing any differences as I knock it down. Let's go ahead and look at it, from the same side. Yeah, everything looks the same. The paint application, the tones of color. I don't notice anything different on this version over the original version I had taken a look at. We have the same tone of color ending basically in the same area, the same sort of striping moving along the back, ending in the same area. So yeah, at this point, I almost forget which one was the one that was in this set. I know it's this one now, but for a second there I was slightly confused. But overall, it's definitely the same Raptor, and we've already reviewed this one again in the vehicle set, so no need to go over this one again. And also, I would say no need to really do sizes or anything. We obviously know the sizes of the human figures, and as I already mentioned, we already reviewed the Raptor, so we know the size of that one as well. So, again, not much left to do as far as this set goes, but it is a really fun one. I will say, again, I really quite enjoy collecting the human figures in the line. This is our second time now getting a Zora figure, but I like the fact that they have given us a different version here, and I think she's equally as nice as the other figure was. Really nicely sculpted, nice articulation, very nice paintwork as well. Pretty much your traditional human being from Mattel, but maybe slightly more detailed, especially again with showing off the musculature in the arms. And then of course she does have some really fun accessories, specifically the rifle I really like, but overall all of her accessories are very nicely done and quite nicely detailed. And the Raptor is really cool, a little awkward looking. Again, I think the newer Raptor sculpt from Mattel for Rebirth is kind of strange. The head is a little thick and just strange looking, and the proportions are off a bit. But then again, I haven't really seen a great, shot of the Raptor from the film, so maybe they do look awkward, but I remember seeing some images, kind of like promotional images for the film with the Raptor, and it didn't look so awkward. So, I don't know. Mattel's sculpt is kind of strange, but since we've already reviewed this Raptor in the past, there's not really much of a need to talk about it again. So if you do already have the vehicle set, and you're not really too worried about a Zora figure, then maybe you don't want to get this one. But if you do not have either of these, and you would really like to get them in your hands, check your local Boscovs, because that's where I found mine. And of course, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next review. Thanks for watching.